Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. How is everybody? We've made it another week and we've got an exciting week this week. Okay, sorry. I was waiting for that button to come up on Instagram. We have a brand new yarn launch to share with you today. We are so excited. We partnered up with a wonderful designer that we're getting to work with for the yarn launch. And she's here today to talk all about the yarn, how it got developed, how it got decided on what it is. I better turn the volume down. Okay, there we go. We're live everywhere. So we're good. Say hi, say hello. Tell us where you're watching from, what you're working on. Tell us something. Again, if you're over here on Instagram, don't forget that usually your handle doesn't match your name. So let us know where you're either watching from or your name or something, and we'll say hi and hello. It's so wonderful to have you guys all here today. Okay, so hi, Carlene. Great to have you here and joining us this morning. Thanks for chiming in. Again, just say hi, say hello. Oh, we've got somebody here from Seattle. It's always amazing to see where everybody is from. Okay, I'm going to bring in our guest because we have a lot to talk about in this yarn, and I don't want to miss anything. I don't want you guys to miss anything. Excuse me if I cough. I promise I will try not to do it. Yes, kids, sickness, it's all around. It's a cough that just won't quit, but we're okay. We're going to make this work. We're going to have fun. Today we have Julie from Twin Stitches Design joining us. Hi.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing well. Minus the cough, we're
I
good.
know. I know the little ones just bring all the fun germs.
They sure do. Wow, we're really getting people from kind of all over the place. We have somebody here from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. We have a Miami, Florida. We have a Georgia. We have California. I'm not sure what BRT is. Is that somewhere in Canada? BRT, maybe? I don't know.
BRT? Would it be
No. I don't know, saying that's where they're from. I'm not sure. Southern Ontario, we have
Mhm.
Southern Illinois, we have Brooklyn, New York, we have New Jersey, we have Arizona, we have
Good gosh.
Washington State. Man, we are just representing around here.
New
It's
New
so
Brunswick, Canada
amazing.
over here.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it.
Yeah,
Okay, so for those who don't know who you are, let's take a step back and let's
sure.
just talk about you for a second, and then
Okay,
we'll jump into our wonderful collaboration and what we have to
absolutely.
share with everybody. So why don't you give us a brief, real quick, how you got
Yep,
started in the crochet, or excuse me, crochet and knitting world, um, and your business that you started.
absolutely. So massive thank you for having me. Hello, everybody. Um, as Caitlin said, my name is Julie or Julienne de Boutillier. I am a knitwear designer and author from New Brunswick, Canada. I have been designing in patterns for over 6 or 7 years now
Mm.
and wrote up a book, Knit a Box of Socks. And Knitpicks also has that wonderfully on their website as well, which I'm so grateful. I started knitting over 13 years ago, taught myself on YouTube.
Yeah,
And I was just bored one day and decided, you know what, I'm just going to make socks because
why
why
not?
not? And it just honestly, the love grew from there. I just kept on knitting. I was on maternity leave with my twin daughters, and I just designed a knitting pattern. I decided to publish it and I thought nobody's going to buy this. Like if one person buys this, I will be so thankful and grateful. It'll be like my little yarn spending money. And people actually bought the pattern and I'm like, what is this? So I just kept going
Yeah,
from there, and yeah, it just really grew to something that I'm just absolutely so grateful. So throughout the years, I've wrote a book that I launched last year. I'm actually working on potentially a second book, and I have a
that's
wonderful
exciting.
what?
I said that's
It
exciting.
is. It is. I can't wait. Um, And yeah, I have this wonderful online membership as well. So we do like online classes every month. They get patterns and we do knit alongs, all sorts of things. So really the business has just grown from there. And I'm just so grateful for everybody for their love and support. I've worked with Knit Picks for, oh my goodness gracious, I want to say maybe 5 years now,
Mm.
potentially.
It's been a while.
Um, I know, I know. Absolutely I've always loved Knit Picks products, even when starting out. So this is just an absolute dream come true to be able to kind of mesh those two together.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So over the
So
past 6 years, I think I designed over, I think with this yarn line, we might be over like 220 patterns.
that's crazy.
A little crazy.
I mean, crazy, like amazing crazy,
I
not
know.
crazy like,
Yeah.
crazy, but
Yeah.
so we talked about your business name is Twin Stitches Designs, and I
Yes, it
just
is.
want to make sure before we get any further, we tell people that's how they can search for you on different platforms and things like that. They'll be able to find you. So go ahead and make sure you follow her on Instagram, on all the places. Don't forget to check out her website, sign up for email newsletters and things, because that's where you'll find all of the information. And you can also check out the information about the membership over there. So, yeah,
Mhm.
just make sure you do that so we
Yeah.
don't forget before we get too much into
Oh,
things.
absolutely. And on Instagram, I'm Julianne Knitter.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's the handle there and everywhere. So also you can search by that. So thank you.
Perfect. So, yes, we've worked together for a while.
Yeah.
Yes, we've enjoyed it all. And we kind of decided, hey, let's try making a yarn. And so this was a long process. I mean, people think like that this happens overnight. It does not, because you've got to figure out the fiber type. You've got to figure out the
Mhm.
colors. You've got to see samples to see if they all work together.
Yeah.
You've got to play around with it. It's a long process, everybody. So this has been in the works for, I don't know, close to a year,
So I
right?
actually just checked my emails right before this, and I want to say we started chatting in March to April of last year.
Yeah, so a full year till everything is done and, on the way, because, too, like, people think, "Oh, you just say, 'Oh, I wanna make it,' and it goes into production." No, there's a lot of other yarns that are getting produced and getting run, and we have to, like, wait our turn, especially when it is a new yarn, because it does take some changes. Anyway, you came up with a stunning, stunning
Mhm.
yarn. And I want to say, before we talk too much about it, it is a really great sock yarn.
Mhm.
But I want to make sure people know that that doesn't mean that's where it stops, because there's so many things you can do with this that we'll continue to talk about throughout. But when we start talking, we'll say, yeah, it's a fingering weight yarn. Yeah, it's a sock weight yarn. Don't let that fool you. It is amazing for everything else. So your business is Twin Stitches Designs
Yeah.
for your girls.
Yeah.
And when you named this yarn,
Yeah.
you went with, okay, now we're going to get this right, Maze, which means twins as well. So it like
Yeah.
kind of all comes back together. It is a fabulous yarn. Do you want to tell us about how you kind of came up with the um, fiber content that you wanted for this?
Absolutely. So the fiber content for this one is a 85-15, which means 85% superwash merino with 15% recycled polyamide. So polyamide is another type of nylon content. So you do get that nice structure for socks. So don't worry because it's not that 25%. Trust me, 15 is enough. Like 15% for socks. I've knit like so many socks, hundreds and hundreds of pairs. So I've got you there, friend. But the fiber content is just so soft and durable, but it's just like, oh, the colors, I can't. The brights are just like so good.
Yeah.
And 8515 is one of my all-time favorite bases just because you get that oomph of the 85% of the superwash merino, but you still
Mhm.
get that nylon. It's I think a perfect little pair,
Yeah.
really.
I couldn't agree more, and I have to say, like, just how soft it is, like, I just love feeling it in my hands. It's so soft, it's so squishy, and yes, we're talking about socks, but this is gonna make a really great garment too, and yes, I know you have some knitting patterns, which we can talk about too, but from a crochet perspective, also don't forget to hold things double, whether you're doing
Mhm.
two colors to get like a marled look or whatever you want to do, or two strands or three strands of the same color. Because by putting two fingering weight strands together, you're going to come out somewhere between like a sport and a DK,
Yep.
depending on what your fingering weight is. So you definitely want to gauge swatch and check it all out. But this is going to be amazing for
Yeah.
garments as well as socks as well as accessories. It's amazing. And we should say too, another really great thing about this yarn is it's 19 colors. Like we didn't skimp out, guys. There's 19
Yeah.
colors. Like that's I don't even know what to say about that.
I know when we were going through all of the colors and you guys were like, okay, pick colors. And I'm like, okay. And then you're saying like maybe 15. And I'm like, I can.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, so we put even more in there. And I just wanted a mix with neutrals and autumnals and brights. So depending on the project that you're wanting, you get those colors. I know.
Right.
And one of my favorites, and I did a fun little YouTube video going over all of these colors. So just in case,
Yeah.
birch bark and white, like friends, it's so good.
Yeah, and
Like,
so you can see the difference here. I think in your YouTube video, it's a little bit better. The lighting's a little off in here,
yeah.
but you can see that the white here on the bottom is very like white, very snow white. And then the birch bark, right? Yeah, birch bark on the top here is definitely more of a cream color. And it
Mhm.
does lend itself towards that yellow cream
It
that you're
does.
seeing. But I mean, this is just stunning. And, sometimes people go, "Ooh, I don't want yellow cream." But like, look what happens when you start putting it with other colors. It is not yellow.
No,
Like, it's not,
no,
but
like
it
this
goes
is
that
our
way.
yellow. Like this
Right.
is our sunbeam yellow.
Right.
And you can really, I know.
It's just
I
I love these three colors together, the whites and the blues for like a really beachy, summery, nautical kind of feel. I mean, look at that. You have so many options in here. I'm just kind of pulling them out and showing them as we go. There's so many colors. And we should say too that there is also a really nice brown tan in here.
Yep,
It's a little bit
sand
darker than
dune.
I guess a tan, but it's not quite brown. Like
I
it's in the
I
middle.
want to call it like a light gingerbread.
Yeah, okay.
It
I
kind of
love that.
it reminds me of like a really light gingerbread
Right.
um kind of color. And depending on what you're wanting to go for, I those
Yeah,
autumnal, I love these
right.
three.
And it can really change the way the colors look. I mean, because look at how different that birch bark looks with those colors versus when you're putting it
And
with
then
a cooler color or something
yep.
like that. It just really changes. And I'm loving this dusky petal because it is a really great neutral here because it's not quite brown, but it's not quite like an orangey red either.
Yeah, it kind of has, I feel like a little bit of a brownish pinkish tone. Like, yeah, these are so pretty. Oh,
They look
I
so great together.
I know. And like you can put it with the white and you can really see the difference from the white. I'm gonna put all these together. And then the birch bark. I feel like white just gives it that crisp, but if you're wanting a little bit more like tone it down, birch bark. That's
I like Jody's comment of coffee with cream.
oh, that is so good. Yes. And like even these three. I I am currently I have one of my friends. She's an incredible sample knitter and she's working with the white. If you're wanting some inspiration, I'm going to be coming out with some tea patterns and the Midnight Ocean. And we're going white and Chloe's pink. I can't.
So let's take a second and talk about Chloe's pink
Yeah.
because Chloe's pink and Claire's red
Yeah.
are two very special colors in the collection. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
They are. So my twins are named Chloe and Claire. They are now 7 years old, and Chloe's favorite color is pink, and Claire's favorite color is red. It's been like that for years. And I even in the YouTube video, I even have them or one of them opening it up and seeing their name on it. It was just so special to me for them to see what mommy does and be able to see their favorite color and their name with the yarn. It was just I knew I had to. This yarn line is entirely inspired by them, by my journey with my girls and our family. So it's definitely, yeah, definitely something that's really really fun. So this pink, it is vibrant. It is gorgeous, vibrant pink, but again, if you're wanting to tone it down, you can use some birch bark, even silver. You don't have to have it crazy bright. I even think like a pullover with these would be amazing. I know the brights, they're bright. And
Yeah,
then the
it's
red,
definitely the neon feel right in here, but they're so great. And like you're saying, depending on which
yep,
neutral that you're putting them with, it can really kind of tone it down,
yep.
or you can keep it nice and bright.
And I adore these three together. So this one is Claire's red. Then
Mhm.
we have whispering pines and snowy owls. So if you're wanting that Christmas vibe,
Yeah.
like it's just so much fun. Or again with birch bark. So it kind of gives that more sophisticated versus crisp white.
Right.
Like
I do love
there's
that.
there's so many combinations.
Yeah,
So
or
many
Julie over here
combinations.
says, or with a beautiful indigo.
We do
And we
have
do have some nice blue colors. I mean, this one, what is this one? This one is Midnight Ocean. This is more of like a black
okay.
dark color. It's not black, but it's
We
definitely a dark blue.
we
And then
technically
we have the charcoal.
yeah, so we technically have four blues in this yarn. Um
Yeah.
and this was a lot of fun. They are very different. So I know sometimes these two can seem a little similar, but they are different. So we have Tropical Tide.
I love that one.
I know, me too. So this, if you guys have seen, I've designed. Okay, if you know anything about me, I love a good pun. Number one, love a good dad joke. Number two, and I love really fun, whimsical names. So I designed a fun pair of socks that are in the ebook, and they're called Quacking Cozy because they're little ducks.
Love it.
I couldn't. So Tropical Tide is the main color for it. I
I do. I love that color
oh,
so much.
Caitlin, those are
And you
pretty.
can just like I love it too because it really does run the full gambit of there's neutrals,
Yeah,
there's autumnal colors, and then there's bright colors, but you
yeah.
can mix and match in so many different ways to get
Mhm.
some really amazing. Like you can take this blue and put it with one of the really bright colors and you've got
Mhm.
this really great vibrant. You could
Yep.
take it and put it with this like dusty petal and it just changes it completely on the look
Yeah.
that you're going to get, the feel you're going to get, and they're all in the same line. Like you can just keep mixing. I mean, I don't know that I do those three, but like you could do this,
Mm.
you could do this. There's so many ways to put these colors together.
I'm even thinking like somebody doing a fun fade, like
I love
of
it.
the blues, and put like a cream in between and just have like a striped some like you
Yep.
can. It's
Well, if they're knitting, you did put out the knit striped sweater that you could totally do that with, getting a solid
yes.
color and then each of your stripes going a different color.
So the Zesty Lime pullover is a pullover that's included in the ebook. It's also available individual on Knit Picks, but the Zesty Lime pullover was designed out of Zesty Lime and the Snowy Owl. But again, like Caitlin said, you could make up your own, right? So you could have even I love Vintage Rose, really, really pretty with maybe birch bark instead. If you're not up for the brights or the charcoal. Yeah,
I love this vintage rose.
I
And
do
I have
too.
to say, like I know I've said it before, I'm not a red person. Like it's just not a color that I gravitate towards. But I love this because it has that hint of red to bring a different color into my
Yeah,
palette without being like a screaming red color. And you can
correct.
match it with so many different things to get this beautiful thing. I personally am more of a cool color. That's what I gravitate towards.
Yeah,
So like to be able to like take it and put it with a purple, like look at how great that looks. And that
it's
gives me that
beautiful.
red, that warmth, but allows me to still keep one of my cooler colors, to make my heart happy. But like, look at that. They just go
I know.
so well together. Like, you did a phenomenal job picking
Thank you.
out these colors and making them all work like
Thanks.
almost all seamlessly together.
Thank you. I had the best time just create like figuring out these colors and the names and having fun with the names. So this one, and I also love the brights that are extremely saturated. Sometimes I feel like it's not as poppy, like it doesn't
Mhm.
pop, but like these friends really do pop. Like this one's called Tangerine Twist. Like
Yes.
it is I want to design a tee pattern or a tank top and put
Ooh,
these two,
yes.
right?
I love
And
that.
again, if orange isn't your jam, maybe pair it with the purple.
Yeah, there's definitely different ways that you can go ahead and tone this down.
Yep,
If you
make it
don't
your
want it
own.
so bright, you can, put it with the cream, you can put it with a gray, you can put
And
it with all different kinds of things to mix and match to get what you're looking for.
yeah,
And I love too that, you could just put a little bit of a bright color just to kind of add that little pop into something if you
hmm,
wanted to. Make most of your sweater in the gray color, the silver lining, and then just add a pop
yeah,
of one of these bright colors along the way.
yeah. It's definitely that's what I absolutely adore with the yarn line is you can go different ways. I know for me, I last year I designed the Playful Palette collection out of Knit Picks palette yarns, which I absolutely adore as well. And when I got this yarn line, I'm like, oh no, no, no. I need like a full autumnal Playful Palette sweater. And I'm thinking of going, with all the autumnal colors and then taking some birch bark as the main and then just striping. Like,
That would so work because pallet's already a fingering weight yarn, and you can
mhm,
just kind of grab one of a bunch of different colors and kind of intersperse it into different things, whether it's a sweater, a hat, or whatever it might be.
yeah. So, like Caitlin was saying at the beginning, you can definitely use fingering weight, double stranded. I do this all the time. It's one of my favorite techniques. So if you're looking at a DK weight pattern, make sure you gauge swatch. I know they're not fun, but they are crucial if you want something that's actually going to fit.
Right.
And you hold it double stranded, and you'll create
Mhm.
that DK weight gauge, and that's so much fun. I
It
really
really
love
is.
doing.
It just
Yeah,
opens up the world of
yeah,
possibilities, for what you're doing. I mean, also too, if you need a bulky weight yarn, you can take a fingering and hold it with a DK weight, to get a bulky weight. Like, there's different ways you can put things together.
absolutely. So I mean, it's so much fun. I had the best time, and it's been so hard keeping this a secret. Like, Caitlin, I gotta tell you, I've been wanting to like spill the beans constantly over a year, and I've been so good. It's just been absolutely wonderful. So I can't wait to design more patterns out of these. So make sure, um, and if you guys ever knit any of these, make sure you tag us. I definitely want to see all of your amazing projects because I can't wait to see what you guys think of it, the colors, if you have a favorite color, um, depending on the ones. But yeah,
Sorry, I was on mute. I love that color combo with the pink and the cream and what is that, zesty
Zesty
lime?
Lime. I know. I'm like, whoo. And as I'm like pulling these, I'm like, oh, that could be a pair of socks. Oh, that could be a sweater. Oh, that could be a hat. I'm like, I'm just, yeah, I'm in love with it. I truly am.
Yeah. And everybody should know you can get them now on the crochet.com website. You can also get them on the Knit Picks website, wherever you're shopping. You
Yeah.
can get all 19 colors. You can go grab them, pick what you want to make. I can't wait to see what colors people put together and what they
Right.
start making with them. I'm starting to plot and plan what I want to do with mine and what
Oh,
colors I'm going to get. There's just so many to choose from. They're so beautiful. I love it so much.
yeah. So on the website as well, we do have an ebook available for you guys. So that was something that we wanted to do is to make sure that we actually had patterns already written and designed knit out of this yarn line for you so we can take the guessing work out of it. Oh, that's pretty, right?
I love that because it's the darker orange and then the bright no, wait, darker orange and then the bright orange. Just a different way to put things together, and get, like, a really nice contrast.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, I'm looking at all of these. So yeah, so we have in the ebook, we have 5 sock knitting patterns. We have a full sweater pattern that is graded size inclusive, and then we also have a hat and mitten pattern. And the fun thing, if you're ever wanting to try, we do have a pair of socks that's knit double stranded in the ebook, and the hat and mittens are knit triple stranded.
There you go. There you go.
So you can have
Perfect.
fun, and it
Yeah,
whips up in no time.
there is a question here about any crochet
Mhm.
patterns. Not yet. Working through that kind of stuff. We started with the knitting because we knew it was going to be a perfect sock yarn, and so that's kind of where we wanted to start. But it's still wonderful for crocheters too.
I'm slowly learning to crochet. I'm slowly learning. I actually had somebody come to me, I tried teaching. It's ironic because I was able to teach myself to knit online, but for some odd reason, crochet to me just like went like, whew. And I know so many of you learn to crochet first, then knit, but for me, it was knitting, and I'm starting to learn how to crochet. So I definitely want to expand into knitting or crocheting up some little patterns, not designing, because that's not my specialty, but definitely with these, I'm looking at a few crochet patterns, those blankets, those the little granny squares with like the flowers. I'm just seeing all of those. And, of course, I'm obsessed with birch bark. So I'm thinking like birch bark all around and then having like the flowers. Could you imagine? And like,
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Can't wait to see it. Gotta design it.
ha! I don't know if I'm gonna be getting into the crochet design though. That one I'm still learning how to do a single and double crochet, which I have been able to do. So
Gotta
at
just
least we're
start with the
there.
basics.
Exactly, exactly. So I made my first granny square. So now I'm like looking at these and thinking, okay, what can I make with them? Because I want to knit everything with the yarn line.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Oh wait, any recommendations on where or who to reference to learn continental knitting?
YouTube.
Yeah, I don't
YouTube
necessarily know an exact person, but that's probably the best.
YouTube is incredible. The one person I always recommend people to go to, it is Stacy from
Yeah.
Very Pink Knits. She's an
Yep.
absolute fantastic, incredible person. Her video tutorials are clear, concise, everything. So if you're ever looking for something specific, Stacy of Very Pink Knits. But anything, honestly, a new technique or anything knitting crochet, YouTube and Google are your
Mm,
best friends
yeah.
because whatever you're thinking of, someone's already asked or thought of it before. Like, don't worry, you're not alone in that. I
Mm,
have no doubt. So definitely YouTube. Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us to talk about this yarn. It's absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. I can't wait for everybody to try it. Don't forget to follow Julie at Twin Stitches Designs, and yeah, keep in touch.
Julienne Knitter. Don't worry.
Julianne Knitter. Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. Well, thank you so much, Caitlin. I really appreciate you guys having me, and a massive thank you to the entire team at Knitpicks. It was an absolute pleasure. I hope you guys love it just as much as we do.
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Happy stitching.
Bye.